15
Yeah.
minutes?
Yeah, I'm thinking 10, but it seems crazy.
10 is great. Yeah, we're flexing our muscles. Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. All right, here I go. So it is February 2019. And boy, what a year. There's a lot has gone on. And strangely, I felt a year ago with Scott with you doing the Kylegos, and with everything that was going on and all of the growth that I had put in the years prior to doing Kylegos with you was just like a groundwork for everything that was going to happen after we started connecting and doing Kylegos. And having that time to uh, say things out loud and almost speak them into existence made it all the changes just feel like as simple as the sun coming up in the morning. Oh, that changed. Okay, well, or that thing happened, and of course it did. It was almost like I could not exactly predict, but I could feel it coming. So, and things just unfolded in a natural way. Um, so it just so happened that on February 1st, I had this strong of last year. I had this strong feeling I'm gonna see my soulmate by March 1st, and I had no indication that that was going to happen. But I decided to believe it, just put it in my consciousness as a truth, in the same way that um, I know that on March 1st there's going to be a full moon. It's just kind of in the same realm, and I can't explain the science behind the full moon, but I know it's coming. So things happened during the month. I didn't like hold on to that. It's almost March 1st. It it just felt natural. So, and meanwhile, I was just having incredible breakthroughs with my business. More and more students signed up for the class. They're having a great time on the Facebook page. They're learning a lot. They're telling other people. Old collectors or prior collectors are coming back. They want to get on my waiting list. I have a show scheduled for next year in the art center where I really started out my career. They invited me to come back and do a show 20 years later. And so that's in the works for 2020. And that's what sparked my starting the waiting list. Look, I'm getting ready for a show. Everything I make is going, or everything I paint is going to go into that show, unless you want to be on the waiting list and you want the next painting that comes. I'll give that to you. So I worked out that whole situation with, I've got like 20 people on my waiting list, as well as I'm doing the exhibit, which is going to take probably 30 small paintings. And that's going to be kind of like a giving back to a place I started, because it's a market that's not going to support high prices, so that the standard prices that my work is at now. And yet I'm finding that people are contacting me and they're actually ordering, by getting on my waiting list, they want that next painting that's going into the show. And I tell them, okay, but it's going to be at the market value, and they're going for it. So I'm filling up this gallery that usually you like do a whole year's worth of work to fill up a gallery, and then you see if anything will sell. And I have buyers already lined up for this whole year of work that I'm doing. So that's happening. And while I am building up my confidence, my trust in my business, how that's coming back to me, I know that, about a year ago, I looked around my studio here, and instead of seeing a whole bunch of paintings that haven't sold, I'm seeing, which has been about 12 years, like I used to not have an inventory at all. But now I have a massive inventory. And I used to look at it as, well, these paintings haven't sold, they probably won't sell. You know, it was a negative. Now I see 12 years worth of financial security. It's like a bank account right here. And I don't even know how much it's worth. Like I'm sitting on a fortune, or I'm surrounded by a fortune. And so I have this book. I used to, every time I do a painting, I'd write it down, give it a number, say whether it sold, who bought it. And so I'm going through one by one, and I'm going to sell these paintings that are still here. And instead of using my mind to go, okay, I should do this one because I think this person might like it, I'm just going with the book, because somewhere inside of me, I knew that this was the painting I wanted to paint at that time. Because 12 years later, 10 years, 5 years later, I was going to find the buyer for it. So I'm just methodically cashing in my fortune here. And I'm really trusting it, because the people who love this next painting in my book are showing up. And I got this idea because I was entering one show, and I had told you, Scott, about how I'm just retroactively infusing love into my paintings. And as I was entering that one, I thought, okay, there's this other society of painters that has a show. I should see what that is, because I'm looking at this beach scene, and I think it should go in there. So the next day I have this idea about methodically putting things, putting this list out. Oh my God. That was 10 minutes. I didn't even get to my soulmate.
We talked about that already.
Yeah.
Fun.
Because all that has to come into place before you can trust it too. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Good deal.
Wow. That went fast.
That did go fast. Even receiving it was fast. So that's nice. That's so good. Good.
Cool.
How do you feel?
Yeah, that felt pretty cool.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. It sounds cool. Yeah, this idea of like, I'm sitting on my fortune is surrounding me.
Right.
And I invested in that a long time ago, and to cash that out, that's really, ooh.
And 12 years of it. That's a nice little nest egg.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, you don't need an IRA when you've got 12 years of paintings around that you can just find buyers for.
Exactly.
And then one by one, wow. There you go.
Yeah, it's
Very
kind of
good. I'm
that
excited.
thing that Kyle says, would you rather have a lot of money in your bank, or would you rather just be able to make $1,000 anytime you want?
That's, yeah.
Yeah, I've started to believe myself.
Excellent. That's probably what these are for,
Exactly.
ironically.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah. Good.
Okay, are
I guess
you
it's my
ready?
turn. All right, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll do a year as well.
Okay, go
So,
ahead.
well, it's February of 2019 now, and I am on the verge of it's winter in Minnesota, and I am on the verge of taking my first trip in this new camper that I bought and my car, and it's I've already started doing some fun things, and I've started a blog with a new YouTube channel where I've started talking about my journeys and some of the things that I'm doing. I have the day last year this time, right before I Kylegoed with Rita, I was looking online and an idea came to me, and I actually purchased the domain name Intuition on Wheels. So,
Mm,
so a year ago, February, I bought that domain just as a fun idea. Like let's just start another little drop in the bucket. So Intuition on Wheels starts tomorrow. I am packing everything up. I have some campgrounds and some RV things that I'm going to. I actually am going to travel first to see some people that I really want to see in my life that I need to thank and be in gratitude for. So I'm taking a trip. Well, thank goodness it's like towards the south because it's really cold in Minnesota. And so I'm doing that first. I'm picking up some of Rita's paintings and I'm bringing them along with me when I do things. I've got the two events already booked at RV resorts where they have community rooms, and they're like, I already have my posters up saying Intuition on Wheels. Join Scott for, and a somatic yoga class in the morning and meditation. Join Scott for interesting fairy card readings and so how to develop your own intuition and meet him and so like two RV camps are already having me do things in their community room, and I'm starting to have interest and people are meeting me, and yeah, I have this interesting following of that's starting with this whole RVing freedom from whatever community through this YouTube channel, and the people that were on my list, they're actually like some of the folks that are in the Southwest. The folks in the UK are like, I wish you could take your camper to the UK, but I can't really drive it across the ocean. So I kind of found that there are a few folks in that Southwest that are like, if you're on your way between this and this, I'll put you up for the night. Don't hesitate to call me when you're on your way. So I have places to stop already. I don't have to pay. Part of these two events at the RV camps, they're like, we'll do your hookup for the weekend for free if you'll do this for all of our folks here, because we find that sometimes these things will attract more people and will sell more RV spots in this season, especially February being a low time. So that's worked out. So it's kind of like I don't have to worry about the money thing or spending more expenses. It's just my gas along the way. And we're going to see what happens because, yeah, I'm doing meditation and somatic yoga in the morning because I did take a class recently to do this brain-based yoga therapy thing. It's very gentle, and I'm trying it out for the first time at this RV camp. It's kind of fun. Retirees on yoga mats. I have about 6 yoga mats that I invested in that I put on the top of my car in the carrier. They're not in the camper, but yeah, so it's going to be fun. I've got blankets and mats and things that I've just collected and people have gifted me for this journey. They're like, oh yeah, here's a blanket. You need a blanket, you need a pillow, here you go. So I haven't really had to buy a lot, just the yoga mats. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I've packed a few crystal bowls just for fun to see what happens with that. And I'm excited and I'm scared, and I love that I'm going on this trip, and the intuition on wheels is taking off and people are kind of open to it. And of course, there's areas in the Southwest that are like, oh, we would love that. That's just totally up our alley. And, so it's very interesting. I'll be going to some of these places for the first time that I've always thought about going to. And though I do worry about snakes, I am worried about snakes because here in Minnesota, we don't have snakes. And so I'll probably be telling that story a lot, just to, and I'm kind of like thinking like just to be myself and to like tell people that I'm this Minnesota newbie who's coming around, who's going to learn a lot of things. And so people are kind of like also attracted to that, they're going to give me, you have no idea when you start putting yourself out there, this community, you are showered with ideas. You are showered with, people who fix things, who know how to do that. You're showered with videos. You're showered with, oh yeah, I know a friend who does kind of like what you're doing. Like you do some tarot readings, but they're very different than you. And you also learn that, like a saying. This just came to my mind, like a saying that about living in Alaska and finding love or finding fun relationships. The goods are odd. The odds are good, but the goods are odd. So, and I just kind of embraced that story of who you're going to meet. And so I've been warned already. But I'm really excited. My reading business has kind of taken off in a weird way, in a new way. I do free readings on all the cross-quarter holidays and times of the year, and actually just feeds into a coaching program. I'm so happy to just give free readings, and I meet about 50 new people every time. And it's been a year, and so I have like a following of like 2,000 people on my list. And so inevitably, whenever I do that, I'm getting paid readings, and other people are more consistent. But it just feeds into my coaching programs because these are the people that are really interested in change and interested in transformation, and they kind of come along with me. They know my flavor. They know that I'm not like a hard sell, but they like the personality and they like the way that I approach things. And we resonate. So that's what's happy with that. And so I've been even getting postcards in the mail, with pictures and stuff. Best of luck on your journey with intuition on wheels. And I'm just blown away. And so, I'm going to come in and read his paintings because, and see what goes on with that. Just I'm like throwing it out to the universe, and I'm taking some of Cindy's meditation CDs with me, and so they're both letting me like do some like commission things for it, just or like consignment-ish things. So like, oh, if you sell it, here you go. Send me the money when you sell it, and it's this trust relationship. And so I have an easel. I had to buy an easel. So I just got an easel. Sorry, Rita, I was procrastinating, but I just got an easel so I can put up a painting when I do meditation and everything like that, like she's been doing with Cindy's CDs and everything. So we pair it together, and I just show it on the road while I do the meditation in the morning. And they're like, oh, I'm hoping that they say, oh, that painting is really cool. What is it? I'm like, oh, it's for sale if you want it, and along with the CD that we just listened to. The music that we just listened to and what I did. And, hopefully it's just gonna sell. I'm excited to sell. So I'm very excited as I'm going on this journey, getting out of the cold, and my first time this year. Last year I went to the RV show like a little bit before and got so many good ideas and decided and I spent like my money on like giving readings and all this other stuff and coaching programs to actually put a down payment on this RV. And, it's, here I am, and I'm still just kind of floating and letting the universe take care of me through it all. And it's kind of it's a fun journey. I don't know what I'll expect. I'll probably get some flat tires and learn on the road and have the hard knocks, but I'm ready for it. And I love that. And I'm excited, more excited just to see what's in store for me of this journey. And also like if there's any more stories that I can connect with along the road and along the way, throughout the times I've been reading throughout the year, there's so many stories I'm privileged to hear, and people encourage me to do this, take it on the road somehow. And I'm actually stopping in Omaha with the psychic that I really, really, really like, and he's going to come with me to, he's told me already, like sometime he's going to come with me to an RV park and do some readings with psychic Andy Myers from Nebraska. He's told me, like, yeah, if you get something fun and I'm in the area, please bring me with you. So he's going to be doing some readings too at a point later down the road. So I'm making some good connections in that world too. And he and I have really fun energy together. We met once and just had a cackle of a time because he is humorous and I can be very humorous. And we both kind of get in that centered moment in the same way. And I only met him like maybe 4 months ago in person.
There it is.
That's all. And I didn't really get into that whole relationship of Andy Myers, who I really admire.
Yeah. Whoa, fun.
Yeah. We'll see if it happens in a year. If it does, it does it. I'm putting it out there. I actually like reserved that domain name today.
Oh, did you? Good. That's great.
Listen on wheels.
I love it.
Yeah.
I have some supercharging ideas for you.
Oh, good, good.
Yep. Yeah, so Scott, he's gonna arrive any minute in his RV, his little camper, and we're gonna spend some time at the sand dunes, soaking up all that sacred energy, and he's gonna stay here for as long as he wants, and he's gonna pick up some paintings because he is on this journey and he's got this intuition on wheels. And he's just come from Omaha with Andy Myers, who's, you know, you gotta love a Nebraska psychic. That contradiction just is perfect. And he and Andy have just created this whole thing. First it started with YouTube videos, but now they're getting interest from, let's see, I don't know what that channel is, but it's like the same channel that does the American Pickers. And they're talking with producers about a possible show. They go to these RV parks and talk to these older conservative people, which is really entertaining, but you get to watch the wheels turn and the changes happening in the awareness of people who have been thinking the same way for such a long time. And they roll out of the RV parks just going, wow, I really liked that place. And not even knowing exactly what it was about that place that felt so good. I mean, they know they enjoyed talking to Scott but you can just see it as we watch the videos. You can see, like, we all know why they like the place. And so people want to return to these RV parks. So these RV parks keep calling Scott, when are you coming back? When are you coming back? And Scott's just booked in all the perfect places that he wants to go to and spend time in just the right time of year. He can say when he's going to Arizona or California, or, you know, when the weather's good. He can take off from Minnesota whenever he wants. And you've gotten to where you can even upgrade your RV if you want to. You're still deliberating. You kind of like you have an attachment to this camper that you bought, and it kind of puts people at ease to not see this massive vehicle come in and somebody come in to say, I'm going to give you a reading. So you kind of come down to a level, it's not even down, it's just a comfortable space. You arrive in this comfortable space that people automatically feel at ease in. And so while you're there, you've learned how to have this whole gift economy thing go on. So you're giving out free readings, but people are so grateful for what they're getting that they donate, and they give what they can. So there's this exchange of money energy as well as emotional energy and your psychic energy. So your spirits are communicating, and it's the way the entire world could work, and you are living it. And you're working with these producers for this TV show to expand that awareness that the world could actually work this way if we all just opened up our hearts and were willing to give what we have to give. It'll come back, and we don't need to put a price on it. It will be valued in the way that it is received. And that is the way you are changing the world.
Wow. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Now I've got to really do have to talk to Andy Myers.
Yeah,
definitely. Oh my gosh. Right.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I just I'm in this process of pulling into going to see Rita for the first time, and she's actually got a bunch of shows and a lot of paintings that she's been selling lately. And the fun thing that she's also putting in her galleries and her shows that she's putting in is she puts up a blank canvas, and she puts up a blank canvas, next to all of her paintings that say sold. This painting sold. I mean, her whole gallery is full of sold, 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 and to the point where people are like, I came to see a gallery and I wanted to buy something, and they couldn't buy something, and so she's had to learn to put up this blank canvas and a little display of her tools that she used, her putty knife and some paint in a display, and she has a blank canvas, and she has a little saying right next to it that says Rita's Easel. And she's saying, she's sort of apologizing for all those paintings that are sold, but saying, if you'd like to be on Rita's Easel, this could be your next painting. And she has a little box down below where she actually invites people to give her ideas for the next painting. They can be anonymous, or they can drop something in with an email address. And so that's how she's gotten this waiting list of 20 people already in 3 shows who've dropped in little cards that said, my mother loved your beach scene. I think you should do something like this. So she gets an idea. It's a little card underneath a blank canvas where Rita invites possibility into her show. And it's so ingenious because it's this show about not only about her paintings, but how she explains in each painting. There's a paragraph about what she imbued in that painting and the love that she's projected, and all from that notebook she has. And when she comes there too, she actually does a live art presentation. She actually creates a landscape on a couple of shows during the opening too, and talks about her process. And those paintings go, she does a small painting that she can put together in a few hours that she's kind of started already, but she talks about the process. And then at the end of the night, that painting goes, it's almost an auction that has to go on because people want to fight. It's you're in the supermarket and there's a special on the last loaf of bread. And she's told me about this process, about how crazy one show was because of that, and where there was an argument on who was really going to buy a painting and who wasn't. And so she actually just let the gallery manager work it out. She's like, I just paint, so maybe this is something you got to work out. And and she's like, tell me who buys it. And this is the reason why she also does that little blank canvas at all of her shows. And it's a way for people to kind of give them permission to just put in an idea and put in a thought or put in love. And she's actually gotten really cool contacts of people who are connected to other art dealers through this little anonymous box thing where they might not have had time to talk with her or she wasn't present. And, you know, Rita's easel is there with a blank canvas, and everything says sold, 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 sold. And if it's not sold, it sells. And so she prints up little sold signs for the galleries all the time too. She's like, if it sells right away, you know, there's a little sold sign that you can put up there, say, and it says, see Rita's easel. And she has the Rita's easel thing. So she buys blank canvas far too much. And so she tells me about, yeah, I've got like 20 blank canvases that I have to ship sometimes to, to these shows. And so the art store, or the way she gets the canvas, they're like, how many blank canvases do you want? So, and it's amazing how, you know, she'll even just like, she'll do a show, she picks things from her wall. This painting, this one, this one, this one, or she just lets them speak to her. It's like, who wants to go to California? And they speak to her, and she packs them in a box for California, ships them, and she gives them all the sold signs because she knows they're going to find buyers if they haven't already. And or actually, like one time she actually took pictures of all the things that were going to be in her show in California to like put it out there, and they sold before they even got there. So it's a fun little thing that she's learning to do. And so I bring a blank canvas with me too on the road. I've got a blank canvas I'm storing, and but she'll probably give me another one because I'll probably, like, you know, I'll probably run over it with my tire or something accidentally, and you know, and I'll, oh shit, I ran over that canvas. So
whoa, it is ingenious. I'm gonna have to go I'm gonna have to like book the gallery, ship the canvases, and spend the month there painting. And so one by one, the wall fills up with painting, you know, that painting or that blank canvas becomes a painting, and then the next one and the next one. And by the end of the month, that's when the opening happens, because that's when that's when there's actual painting. But people come, you know, every day to see the new one.